book lovers.
We read a book.
Yeah. Hey folks, it's the Return of Book Club here on SourceFedNERD, brought to you by our friends at Audible.com. You can go to audible.com/sfnerd to get a free month of subscription and a free book.
Book download. Yeah.
Book download. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm Dani Rosenberg. We read The Giver this week.
The Giver!
Really good.
Just in time for the weird-looking movie that's gonna come out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
This book was 176 pages?
Mm-hmm.
So right up my alley.
Yeah. The movie has what appears to be like fucking spaceships and tractor beams, neither of which appear
that's not in the
this
book at all.
No.
We'll talk a little bit later about what this movie is going to be and what this beautiful book is.
Yes, and this book is, it's like a American 4th grade staple.
It is. I should have read it a long time ago.
Same with me. I didn't read it.
But I enjoyed it reading it now.
Yeah, there was a period where it was my brother's favorite book. Now, the audiobook on Audible is actually narrated by Ron Rifkin. It's read by Ron Rifkin, who people may remember from the show Alias, which he was amazing on that show.
Okay.
Yeah.
You listened to it.
Yeah.
And I did some old school. Some OG eyeball reading.
OG eyeball reading. I personally, this was my first audiobook experience, and I really, really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that he was like a great choice for it, and although like his voice for Jonas.
Did he do different voices?
He did different voices, but his voice for Jonas was like, it sounded super childlike, and I know that he's supposed to be 12, but he's like, he's kind of up here, and then with the choices and with the Giver, why would you, and then and it's just like, it's very like his register's up there, but his voice for the Giver, he slays it. He slays it.
Is it better than the Jeff Bridges voice?
I would honestly say yes, because the Jeff Bridges voice sounds like weird and strong.
Yeah. In the trailer, he's like, I'm the Giver.
I'm the Giver.
Which nobody in the book ever is like,
no.
Hey, I'm the Giver. Like,
well,
they don't do that.
He asks him, wait a minute, now that I'm the receiver of memory, what should I call you?
Let's talk about the synopsis of this. Let's do some summary.
Yeah, so the book takes place in this mysterious community where everything has been decided and ordered. There's no free choice.
It's called sameness.
Sameness.
So it's something where who they're married to is chosen for them, their job is chosen for them, and we come into the book right when Jonas is about to turn 12, and that's when the ceremony of 12s happens. Yeah. That's when they tell you, we've decided you're gonna be a laborer,
you're gonna be a birth mother,
you're gonna be a gynecologist. We've been watching you, and we decided
that you would be a perfect gynecologist.
You'd be great with vaginas.
Yes.
So you're gonna do that.
Yeah, and it's like, it's pretty perverse. Like the birth mother, like they do a lot of world building right at the top.
They do. Like most of the book, I feel like, is just bit by bit giving you more information about what this
teasing out this mystery. They introduce right at the top this concept of release, that when you are done with community, whether you have made a mistake or whether you've become, so old that it doesn't make sense for you to be there anymore, they release you, and that should be a very joyous thing, and then you go elsewhere, you go somewhere else. And the whole book is really just teasing out, like, what does it mean to be released, and like this mounting dread that it's going to be something horrible, and
I thought it was weird that he was like, oh, they just go to like the next town. But when you think about that kind of analogy, it's like, that's people thinking about heaven. They're thinking about, oh, I get this whole world, and then I get a whole other world after that. This
like afterlife where you're free to do whatever you want finally after you spent your entire life being contained by rules.
One thing that happens at one point is he gets given his job, but it's a job that not every kid gets.
Well, it's like
one person every so often is given the
once in a generation
receiver of memory.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is like, it's a really harrowing bit because he's like so excited about the ceremony of 12,
he's
and
like,
you're looking forward to it.
Work at the bank?
And then,
where am I gonna work?
Right, and then everybody gets called up one by one. He's number 1119, and number 1118 gets called, and then a number 1120 gets called. He's like, oh, what the hell? What happened? Am I gonna be released? What's going on with me? And we're freaking out right along with him. And they go through everybody, and finally, and everyone's like, what's going on? What's up? And then the chief elder, she's like, Jonas, I know you were like weirded out by the fact that we didn't call you, but it was not a mistake.
But it's all good.
It's all good.
Because you're the receiver of memory.
Yeah. And then he's given these set of rules that go against everything that he's ever thought in his entire life.
They're great. Like, one of my favorites is he can lie.
Yeah, he's the only person.
Nobody's allowed to lie. He can ask rude questions. He can he's allowed, like, if I got to choose, I'd want to be a receiver of memory. He can do whatever the fuck he wants.
But it's so painful. You have to feel. Everyone else doesn't feel. Like, that's the thing.
The receiver is the only one with feelings.
The only one with memories.
In this entire society.
And he's the only one who understands how perverse this society is, because people have become so insulated to any kind of pain that they've also forgotten about any kind of pleasure or love. It doesn't exist.
The best part about when he starts receiving memories is you're learning, every time Jonas learns about a certain feeling, you realize that society doesn't have it.
Yeah.
That's how they reveal it to you. It's like
really cool.
He's like, oh, what's love? And you're like, oh, wow, they don't have love.
Right, because they don't, they don't pick their spouses. They don't have their own kids. They're judged based on who will be able to raise children effectively together.
There's a dialogue back and forth where he's like, oh, you got to choose your own things? What if you choose wrong? That'd be terrible.
That'd be terrifying.
And they talk about it in this hypothetical way that's like, it's sad to think that they can't choose those things.
Yeah, I mean, because, like, I'd rather choose wrong and have chosen than have never chosen at all. It's like the same way that people are like, better to have loved and lost than never have loved at all. I mean, it's ridiculous to be in a world where you can't have any choice over what you do and who you're with, and it's creepy and it's gross. And that's why I like this book so much, is it is like a very great, brief parable about the dangers.
It covers a lot in that short amount of time.
Censorship and of insulating yourself from pain.
Or the dangers of like perfection.
Yeah.
It's also a really great book about individuality and the importance of differences, the importance of risk and probability and you know, all these uncertainties, and like, you're supposed to fuck up. That's life.
Yeah, and Asher is just a little dick. Fuck Asher.
Yeah, fuck Asher. Taylor Swift is playing Rosemary in this thing, by the way.
No, is she really?
But they gave her a brown wig, so it's okay.
I might have to see it for that alone. I might have to see it for that. So basically, one of the other subplots is like, the reason why he gets picked as receiver of memory is that 10 years ago there was a failure. They picked a receiver of memory who was so depressed by what she learned.
She killed herself.
She killed herself.
She released herself.
She released herself.
And, spoiler, she's the giver's daughter.
What? Yeah. How does he even know? Like, but seriously, how does he even know?
Oh, yeah.
Because they don't get into who impregnates the birth mothers and how.
You're
just a birth mother for 3 years, and then you do hard labor for the rest of your life, and you never meet your kids.
I would have liked to have met one of the labor. Like, I wonder what that facility looks like.
Well, yeah, because they're also fucking 12. Okay, you're 12 and you get assigned birth mother. It's like, great, for 3 years you're gonna be pampered and pop out 3 babies between the ages of 12 and 15.
And then you dig holes
for the rest of your life. I'm gonna just throw it out there. This society's a little sexist.
But
and creepy,
the family unit,
impregnating
the
twins.
Father was the nurturer and took care of babies, and the mother was
a lawyer.
Was like a lawmaker.
Yeah,
she was like
a judge.
And that was nice that it was that opposite dynamic.
Yeah, but there's no like male equivalent of like, I don't know. I just think it's so weird. They're impregnating fucking babies with babies having babies.
Yep.
Yeah. So we got a couple tweets about this book from our fine friends on Twitter. At Annie Rudnick writes, I love The Giver. I think the idea of being in a society where everything is chosen for you would be great if you aren't the giver. Annie, I understand why you're saying that, but I also worry that you're missing the point of the book, which is that if everything's chosen for you, then what's the point of being alive?
Yeah. I mean, what if somebody tried to make me a lawyer? I'd be terrible at it.
She'd be a terrible lawyer. Have you met Dani Rosenberg?
I'm not gonna try and tell anybody what to do.
No.
I'm gonna be like, you want to put him in jail? Do it. You want to put him in jail? I can't tell you what to do.
You tell me what to do.
Well, I'm your boss.
Yeah, well, see, that's what I'm saying. It's like you could be a law boss.
Law boss.
At Perry Official writes, The Giver is my favorite book from school. I'm going to be the person in the theater with the book, flipping along to the movie.
That image is really funny.
I highly encourage that.
Where's this?
Yeah. Wait a second. Wait. Hold on. Where's this tractor beam? I missed the tractor beam chapter.
Those, like, headlights so you can like read it. You're gonna annoy the shit out of everyone around you.
Where's the part where Fiona takes her shirt off and she's making out with Jonas? This isn't in the book. Lois Lowry said this was true to the spirit of the book.
She did. She gave her blessing on it. Just no.
That's another weird thing. Okay? The giver, in order to transmit memories in the book, he asks a 12-year-old boy,
take off
your tunic and lie down on the bed face down.
Face down.
And then he puts his rough hands on Jonas's back and transfers memories. In the movie, they realize that that's probably a little creepy.
It's gonna look real bad.
So
they just
Jeff Bridges just holds his hands.
I'm the giver. I'm about to give you a real nice massage.
I'm in pain, Jonas. Lie down on the bed.
Yeah, there's points in the book where he comes in, he's like, hey, giver, you ready? And he's like, no,
not today.
The memories hurt so
bad. The memories.
Go away.
The memories.
And then he has to come back, you know, the next day. And he's like, y'all good now? And he's like, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
lie
okay,
on my
let me
bed.
give you,
Take off your tunic.
Yeah, lie in the bed, take off your tunic. Oh, Jonas, there's been no one here for the last decades. Oh, but that means that he was doing that. Wait, does that mean that Rosemary had to take off her tunic too?
Let's just
why is it? Yeah,
it was his daughter. He's not doing anything. Matthew.
I don't know that he knew that off the top.
The giver isn't taking his pills that restrain his boner, so he's just in there with all those books, like, ugh. He's thinking about
stuff.
We've
gone down a dark road with this book. And I'm not talking about the dark road that Jonas takes out of the community seeking elsewhere. So, folks, thank you so much for watching this episode of SF Book Club. The next book that we're going to be doing is The Maze Runner. So you have a few weeks to read the book and let us know your thoughts.
Audible.
Use audible.com/SFNerd for a free month and a free audiobook. Why don't you use it? Download The Maze Runner. Send us your thoughts using the hashtag SFN Book Club. I'm Matt Lieberman.
I'm Dani Rosenberg.
And until next time, I'm the giver.
He's the giver.
He's the giver.